I started having trouble with abusing drugs and alcohol at a relatively young age, probably about 12 years old. I just started out with alcohol and smoking pot, and then moved on to party drugs. I was sent to my first rehab at the age of 16. I started getting court ordered to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous meetings at the age of 16 as well. And at the age of 17, I found, first time I tried and found crystal meth. And I started my first bouts of homelessness when I was about 17 years old. I was living in the riverbed, not even 10 minutes driving from where my parents live. Everywhere from the Rio Vista trolley station all the way down to the Fenton Parkway trolley station. I've lived in a tent, I've stayed in a hammock, I've slept on the ground, I've done everything in between. All you needed was the clothes on your back and you could just make it work. And it really all had to do with a sense of belonging. Like every aspect of it had to do with needing to feel like accepted and belonging to something. As long as I did drugs and got loaded, no matter where I went, as long as there were other people that did the same thing as me, I had a social group that I could belong to. I shoot heroin, and I was doing that, and I overdosed a couple of times within a couple month time span. My buddy and his girlfriend were sitting there, they were just like crying. They're like, dude, we thought you were like gone. And I remember just thinking, like, I was like, in the back of my head was like, but why aren't I? Like it would just be so much easier. Like I'm just like, the little part of me was just like mad. I was like, just why? I can't do it. I don't want to do it anymore. That was the moment where like I felt like I could no longer overlook the feeling that I was getting of like, like you're gonna die or you're gonna go to prison, and like you need to not be okay with that, because God's not done with you yet. And if you continue down this path, I mean, there's only, if you make the decisions, He's not going to be able to stop you. And I knew that I was capable of so much more, but I just really all that I wanted was just to stop hurting myself and stop hurting the people that love me. I just want to be the man that I was created to be. But who I was when I came here was I had no dignity, I had no self-respect, I had no self-worth. I simply came in with the idea of like, I just don't want to wake up every single morning thinking that either getting arrested and going to prison or overdosing and dying are viable options for me on a daily basis. I remember the first couple of months being here, it was difficult. Like, I mean, I was just an emotional wreck, and I knew that I was where I needed to be. There was really two key attributes to all of that. Number one was job training. Back when they still had the warehouse, I was working as, a sorter there, and I just remember like, as I did it and I was able to start building relationships with the people, and I started to realize I was able to be counted on. I was able to have people believe in me. And then shortly after that was when the second attribute was able to arrive, and I was given the opportunity like, hey, would you like to participate in a pilot program of where partnering with the community college and you could learn a trade. But just that opportunity and having the teachers come to the mission and teach us and invest in us, it was just, I came in empty and I was able to be filled up to the point of where I was actually able to give out. I moved out of here into a sober living, and I had never lived on my own. I'd never paid a bill, I'd never paid rent, I'd never done anything in my adult life. I got myself a little car, I bought that on my own, and I was paying my own insurance, I was paying my phone bill, I was paying my rent, I was doing all these things, and it was massive to me. I got married, and now I live in the condo that me and my wife own, and not even 10 minutes from where I was living in tent. I have a stepdaughter. Her name is April. I love her like my own. She practically is my own. She is a strong-willed, independent, fierce child. And then I have my 11-month-old Arya, and I didn't know that I could love or feel as intense, but it's one of the greatest gifts I think I've ever been able to experience. To realize, you know, like I have, not only am I like, did God see fit for me to take care of myself and be able to you know, be who I am, I was given the gift of life to take this other child through life as well. If the places like this didn't have the opportunities that they were giving to people like myself, I know for a fact I would have been dead or in prison. I wouldn't be who I am and where I am today without the chance that I was given.